Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Now, stick around because during this video, I'm going to be breaking down a live sales call that took place with my own personal OnlyFans management agency, Orist, where we hopped on a call with the model and we closed her on working with our agency. So if you're interested in getting started with your own OnlyFans management agency, you're looking for the type of questions you need to be asking on the calls, you're looking to advice on how to handle these calls, then this video is going to be extremely beneficial, as during this video we closed a model who's doing $11,000 a month. So a really big ticket account, a big ticket client that we're now going to be working with for our agency. So as you all know, my name is Ethan Bayless. I run Altrist, the leading OnlyFans agency based in the UK, and I also run OnlyFans Millions, which was the first OnlyFans management consulting program to ever exist. So we literally hold people's hands, mentor them when it comes to building an OnlyFans management agency up to $50,000 a month within 90 days via the proven systems that I built on my own personal agency. Now basically what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting to the call that took place, and I'm just going to be breaking down at each individual point of the call why I did certain things, how I structure these particular calls, how I handle certain things. So yeah, it's going to be super valuable for those guys out there looking to get started with this. And yeah, I'll see you in the video. So she's calling. Hello, how are you?
How are you? Good, how are you?
Yes, not bad, thank you. Not bad at all. Um, yeah, great that we could hop on this call today. Whereabouts are you calling from?
Silicon Valley, so California.
Silicon Valley. Wow, wow.
The
I've
tech.
never been personally. That's the tech area, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of hop on this call, just ask you a few questions and see whether you'd be a good fit to work with the agency. Sound good? So at the start of these sales calls that take place with the model, it's important that you do a nice introduction, as you typically would talking to any other person, doing a nice introduction, asking them a few questions about themselves, keeping it nice and short. You want to keep this, less than a minute, between 1 to 2 minutes of just general conversation. Sometimes they'll be looking to get straight into the actual call itself in terms of what they're actually looking for. Sometimes they'd want to talk a little bit more to kind of warm them up, but it's just kind of building that level of trust and just put them at ease when they are joining the call. And yeah, the first question I typically like to ask on these calls with models is, so why did you book in this call? Or, what are you looking for? Or what is it that you're looking to get out of this call? Just asking them and reaffirming the point on why they decided to book in this call, why they decided to get started with it, and what they're looking for from myself. And this is then going to naturally lead into them listing out what they're looking for, their current situation, and then we can then get a good understanding of their current situation. Awesome. Yeah, so tell me a little bit about how it's currently going.
So, I don't know if you took a look at my Instagram or, my social medias and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I started COVID back in 2020. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't take it seriously at first, but I already had a pretty large following base, so
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people were gravitating towards it, but I didn't know how to run an OnlyFans on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't take it too seriously for the first few months. When I had my body done, so I had I don't know if you know what a BBL is, Brazilian
Um,
butt lift.
yeah, that.
Yeah, yeah. I had my butt done, and then right away agencies were coming in like left and right, and I didn't know that was even a thing. I'm like, wait, what? And I'm reading these messages, and I'm like, agencies? I didn't know that. I thought it was a scam, right? So I didn't,
Yeah.
I kind of disregarded it for a while, and finally I said, you know what? No, I'm gonna give this a try. And
Mm-hmm.
we went from $1,000 a month to 3,500. Then from 3,500 to 10,000, 11,000, and then it kind of fluctuated for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I had one good agency last year. We had 2 months of 110, 111K month, and then everything just went like down. After a lot of agencies, they don't know what they're doing.
So what do you think? Is
They
it
think
more promotion or management?
both. I
Both?
mean, I can only do so much on my side.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have done the best I could. I have a Google Drive of my own full of content bundle scripts, organized, dated, labeled.
Mm-hmm.
I produce content on a daily basis. I do reels, TikToks, shower script, car script, customs I've done, but they're not pushing customs. They're not pushing video chats out. They're not pushing my bundles. It seems like what they're doing is just the bare minimum of PPV or, photo of the day
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
So at the first section of the call, typically the model is just going to be listing out exactly what brought her to the position that she's currently at and why she's looking to get started with a management agency. Now, personally, what I like to do is I like to use this time to do some active listening. So, paying attention to the specific points and comments that a model is bringing up, because these are typically the biggest pain points or the biggest reasons straight away on exactly what she's looking to get out from an agency or working with an OnlyFans management agency. So, this model, she mentioned a few things. So, she first mentioned that she was had lots of content, which is good because it means then we can then go in there and work with lots of pre-existing content, which is great for these model accounts. And she also briefly touched upon the fact that she was working with another agency and that she was a little bit dissatisfied with the service that she received from this agency. So essentially what we're doing is we're using this, okay, so she's got a lack of trust with another agency. So she's not satisfied with the service she's getting, and we can then try and identify exactly what it is that she's the specific elements of why it's not working out with that agency, and then we can then use that later on to relay why it would work out if she decides to go ahead and work with us. So this stage of the call is literally all about info collecting, making sure she's a good model in terms of account size, making sure she's got a good work ethic, the ambitions for a page. And she said that she's been doing it for a while, which is good because it means that she's committed to this. It's not like she's dipping her toes into it. It's not the sort of model we want to be working with at our agency. And she's already said that her account got up to $11,000 a month, which is great because it means that she is a big ticket account. She has some experience. She has some understanding of the landscape. She's capable of making that sort of money. And pushing her to the next steps is going to be a lot easier rather than working with a model who's at $1,000 a month and trying to get her to $10,000 a month. That's going to be a big shift. And the model is going to have to shift her identity in order to start making that sort of money. She's going to have to get the work ethic in place. She's going to have to start producing better quality content. She's going to have a better understanding around niching. So this already puts her in a good position that we can then just scale her up further.
And I just want to be cautious who I pick next because I don't want to keep bouncing. I want to be with somebody who's, going to do their job, basically do their job.
Yeah, good. I'd like to make sure that if we did go into this, that it would be, a fruitful relationship for both of us over the duration of it. Um, what current percentage agreement do you have with this agency that you're working with at the moment?
So every agency I've ever worked with is usually it's 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Some do 40, so I keep 60, they take 40. I'm okay with 50-50 because if you know you're going to make more money, you guys are going to do more work as an agency.
Yeah, more incentive for us. Yeah.
Yes. But there's no other, I can't do anything lower. I can't make less than 50.
Mm-hmm.
In other words. Especially because, I do own all the promo pages, like the Instagram accounts. I
Mm-hmm.
have 9 fan pages total.
Oh
One
wow.
has 82,000 followers.
Oh
Yeah,
wow. So,
and
okay.
I have a TikTok with 65,000 people following,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a Facebook fan page. I have over 5,000 ads on Snapchat. So
There's a lot of traffic.
I have a lot of traffic. It's
Mm.
just I just can only do so much on my own, which is usually filming, because I don't have the patience to sit down and convince every person to spend money on my page.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what an agency should do is handle the chatting, effectively nurture those relationships.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know my worth. I mean, Tim, the original founder of OnlyFans, right?
Yeah, out of him. Yeah.
Tim, yeah. So he reached out to me a couple days ago too, and he's starting a new platform. He follows me on Instagram actually. He's
Mm-hmm.
starting subs,
Mm-hmm.
and he's trying to convince me to join. So I mean, if I can get recognized by people like this who want to recruit me, and then also the CEO from Yummy Hub reached out to me months ago too,
Mm-hmm.
and wanted me to join. So I'm getting these well-known people who are discovering me and finding me.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I could make a lot of money. I
Yeah.
just need an agency that knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, we work with some big ticket accounts. So the biggest account that we work with is doing 80K a month. Completely different niche in terms of the account that we manage, but the strategies are the same in terms of implementing. We've got a team of chatters. They are in the account 24/7, selling sex and sets, selling content. We ask the models to pre-make so we can then sell it inside the account.
Yeah, and I already have. I have loads of content ready for
Hmm.
sale.
Cool.
I make reels every day, which I also upload to the drive because ideally I want the agency to run my Instagram ad pages and
Hmm.
post the reels for me. I have a trend finder, so I find what's trending and I
You
copy it.
copy that. Good strategy. Yeah. Wow. So you sounds like you're doing pretty much all the work, and the same he's taking their percentage. Yeah.
Yes.
So at this point, she's touched on the fact that she's got some pretty big promotional assets that she's running, which is great for us in Nancy. And she's mentioned that she's got a big following on Instagram, big following on Facebook, big following on Snapchat. So traffic isn't an issue. She's getting plenty of traffic, and this is something that she's already mastered with her own current OnlyFans account. Now, the main issue which we're touching on is around the management of the account in terms of the back end chatting. That's where the deficiency um, aligns when it comes to why she's not making as much money as she could be making with her current OnlyFans account. So we're just touching on these points, and obviously she's been noticed by some big players within the industry. So she's getting lots of attention. It's just that back end issue that the agency isn't doing well. Now, typically before calls, so during calls, you're going to experience what are called obstacles. So you have obstacles and then you have objections. So obstacles are what happens before the close. So before you say, yeah, look, I think we can help you and I think it'd be great if we work together, that's the close. After that, if they come up with any issues, they're objections. And then before that are obstacles. So she's already touched on in terms of what percentage she's given to this pre-existing agency. Now, if she came back and said, the percentage that I give to this agency is going to be a lot less in terms of I give this current agency 20%, then that's an obstacle because 20% isn't enough for our agency to do the service. So at that point, we would have then said, okay, look, we do charge a higher percentage, and it's because we want to make sure our incentives are aligned. That we want to be more invested into your account. If we're not as invested, if we're taking a smaller percentage, then we're not going to be as invested compared to these other accounts that are bigger ticket that we're managing. So this was no longer an issue. So she mentioned that she's already doing 50%, which is great. That's what we charge our OnlyFans management agency. So that's another layer done, another obstacle that's overcome before we go into the close.
And I don't like how on my VIP page, I have three pages, and my
Mm-hmm.
VIP page, he made it free, which is such a bad decision because what he did is he brought 1,400 subs into that paid page, but because you're giving them free experience, you have the chatters that are so overwhelmed with all these cheapies that aren't going to spend. Versus we had 600 paid subs.
Okay, so wait, so you had a free page and a VIP page, and he turned the VIP page into free as well? Jeez. Yeah. Yeah, you want to use the free to VIP funnel. That works well. Yeah.
I mean, I had my rebill at 29 a month, and you may think it's crazy, but I had about $4,000 in renewal income
Yeah.
just from that.
Automatically just gone. Yeah. Do they have access to both the free page and the VIP page? Do you know what the strategy behind that was? So another one of my favorite strategies, especially when you're signing high ticket models, you need to understand that the majority of the time these high ticket models have already worked with an agency. Okay, they've worked with an agency. Maybe they got good results and they've just gone downhill, or maybe they got good results with an agency. The agency had to leave, and then they're working with another agency. It doesn't matter. Most of the time, these big ticket accounts, they've been working with an agency, and it's important to make fun of the agency that they're working with before, especially if the agency before have made terrible mistakes. Now, all of you watching this, you're getting good training when it comes to OnlyFans management. And those of you inside my consulting program, you're getting the best training. So you're not going to be making these sort of mistakes that I'm hearing about other agencies making, which is why it's so important that you do invest in getting started, because this agency have now screwed up a client who's making $11,000 a month because of just terrible management strategies. So what they did was they had $4,000 in monthly recurring revenue coming from subscriptions in the account. Now, they decided to turn that off for some random reason and to focus more on chatting. Well, that's not required. You're already making $4,000 a month from the subscriptions. Now, most likely, what this agency experienced was this agency was managing the account. They weren't getting as many subscribers in, and they had poor chatters inside the account. And these chatters were saying to the agency owner, "Oh, there's not enough subscribers in the account to sell to," as an excuse from the chatter to justify why their sales were so bad. Now, because this agency owner sounded very inexperienced, he then was saying, "Oh, yeah, that's potentially the issue. We need to get more subscribers in. Oh, the subscription price is too high. Let's lower it down." When in actual fact, they just ended up cutting off a $4,000 in monthly recurring revenue stream. They just turned that off, which is, I don't know why you would do that, to be honest. Hoping that they could then excel to chatting. But what actually happened was that it didn't excel. They then experienced issues with dealing with the chatting, and it then turned off the subscription source. They started to realize, hang on a second, the problem wasn't with the subscriptions coming in. That was a minuscule fee that people were paying monthly happily. The issue was the chatting were long, which led to the sales of the account plummeting, which is why this model is now seeking out another agency, because clearly the agency was inexperienced. So she's going to end up looking for someone who knows what they're doing and can actually deliver a good quality service to herself.
For my VIP, I would like to have my free link to the VIP, and then have those two fluctuate and producing on both. Because even if we get people coming in the free, we can still make money on the free.
Yeah.
But the idea is to make the big money on the big page.
Mm.
But when he made both of them free, just big mistake. My contract is about to expire with them, but I have the luxury of being able to remove them anytime within those
Cool.
first
Yeah.
30 days. So I need to find someone like now.
Cool.
In other words, I have another offer from another agency that's European based, but he he originally wanted me to work with his agency directly that had 6 models, and then he filled my slot with someone else, and then he tried to put me in one of his partner agencies, which I'm not too much of a fan of. So ideally, I just need to be with somebody who's going to do a good job.
Cool. So what is it you're specifically looking for from an agency then, in terms of, what would it be that I could say in terms of that would just make you say, yes, I want to get started?
I mean, if we were to do this today and I sign a contract in the next hour, these are the things I'm looking for. 50-50. Ideally, I like to do a bi-weekly invoice because
it takes time to get. Yeah, that's how we do it. Yeah.
I mean, even if I could, I would much rather do once a month in the beginning and just do one big payout for me, one big payout for you, because I'm not fully dependent on that income. I still drive in the mornings to pay the bills. But once that builds up to such a high amount, then we can do like bi-weekly, then weekly. But it would make sense to start with a monthly and then just do one big split of a 50-50. Because if it's only peanuts that's coming in every week, then it's like,
So here, another obstacle that was brought up. So it's not an objection, it's an obstacle that we need to overcome. So what she said was that she would be looking to do monthly payouts to our agency. Now, there's a slight issue with that. At my agency personally, we do bi-weekly payments. So this gives enough time for the model to process the payments that come through on OnlyFans and have that money into a bank account so she can pay us out. But at the same time, we don't want to be doing monthly payments, because the issue with that is that we are then risking a lot up front in order to manage this account. We have chatters who will have to front the payments to, because we pay out our chatters bi-weekly as well. So we want to make sure that we get the money, and then we can then give that portion of money that we generate from the model to the chatters, rather than fronting the cost for the chatters. We want to make sure that we're profitable, and you don't want to get in the position where you're just saying things to make the process or to hope to sign the model. It's just about dealing with these obstacles, reframing it in a different light, showing them why you do this certain thing and why it's a benefit to them, and just getting them to agree with it. So what you're going to see me do on this call now is you're going to see me notice that objection or notice that obstacle, and then touch on it and relay exactly why we'd be looking to do bi-weekly payments. Yeah. I don't know whether we'd be able to do that. There's not an offer that we've offered to any of the other models that we manage, purely because purely because of there'd be a lot of risk there for us in terms of upfronting the costs of the chatters. We pay our chatters very well on a full-time basis, because we don't want some terrible virtual assistant chatter.
So if we do weekly, would you be open to start weekly, build our relationship, and in the future bi-weekly, and then there?
Yeah, yeah.
So we
Once we've got a little bit of trust there, then absolutely, a monthly basis would be fine. Yeah.
Okay, and another thing is, usually what I like is when that payout, if we do a weekly payout, let's say $2,000 is sent out that Sunday,
Hmm.
I would expect that we split what is sent out, not what's pending. Because what happens is, and I get why they invoice this way, but when it's pending and you guys invoice me, it's like I barely have enough time to send you the invoice and then keep my 50% because
Yeah.
it's pending for a week usually, which is stressful.
Yeah, I think the 2 weeks should give enough time to kind of
Yeah.
clear it out. I think if we did
Exactly.
weekly, then you don't have enough time to clear it out. That's why we personally don't do weekly. So I think 2 weeks would be more than fine for our agency.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, and then another thing is they offer to run all my Instagram pages. I just give the logins.
Hmm.
I would just need them to post 1 or 2 reels a day on all my pages, and then do stories with OnlyFans links, which I have everything separated on my Google Drive. I could
Okay,
add.
so 1 or 2 reels a day and stories. Okay, let me just jot this down.
Yeah, like here I can show you if I start my.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you see what my screen shows?
Yeah, I see that.
So this is my Google Drive, which I'll give you guys access to
Cool.
if we move forward.
Mhm.
Everything is separated. See, all my bundles are here.
Mhm. Cool.
And then these are like longer videos. Customs will go here. Basically, social media content, Reddit, Twitter, which you guys would ideally run. I would need an agency to make a Twitter and a Reddit for me just because my IP address got banned from Twitter.
Mhm.
And I keep getting shadow banned with Reddit, so I just need the agency to run those two for me.
Yeah, cool. No Reddit plus
And
Twitter.
then whenever I do TikToks or Instagram Reels, I like to separate them by month.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that way your your marketing team isn't looking for everything.
Mhm. Separate by month. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and then Instagram content, you'll see story time. So, and then YouTube Shorts. So, in the future, I'm looking for us to start a YouTube channel, and then I would provide the YouTube content here. You can even recycle the reels to the YouTube Shorts.
Cool.
And then whenever I want them to do the Instagram stories, everything's here. The IG, and then it has a little recycling meme. You can reuse it, and all you do is post these videos, and then you attach the OF link to it on my stories.
Okay. Cool.
So everything's here for you guys already.
Yeah, you got lots of content already. Yeah.
Yeah, and everything's already, as you can see here, dating app verification photos. So if we ever do dating apps,
Yeah.
I will upload all my.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean everything's just kind of up front. I can show you real quick my OF page and what's going on with it.
Yeah.
So this is my VIP page. Right here. It's like we get the traffic in, but these purchases, I don't like that they're small. I want ideally bigger sales. Like this is not what I like to see.
Yeah. There's a lot of traffic coming in on a daily basis there.
Yeah.
The traffic isn't your issue at all. We've managed models who have got a lot less following and are doing a lot more money as well. So I think it is the main issue where you're going to get most of the wins from is that chatting. Yeah.
173,000 since I started. Like obviously subscriptions alone, $51,000. Why would we ever make it a free page? I mean that's $51,000 of just subscriptions I got.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Tips,
makes
$1,000.
they just
$7,000. I don't understand the logic of this.
oh, making 51K from this. Boom, turn it off.
Look at this. It's just I need someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we can do for you. We know exactly what we're doing with that. Yeah, I think your agency is just not doing well at all. It sounds like they're making a right cock of it. So the sooner you ditch them, the better.
I'm planning to ditch them today if I can have a contract and it looks good.
Yeah.
I would just only things I ask is chatting theme. How's her English?
Good.
Sorry, I have to ask.
Fluent.
We have
Fluent.
we
yeah.
have some issues.
Yeah, so I also consult OnlyFans agencies, and the number one thing that I see is just terrible chatting. Like they don't even speak English, I think the subscribers can tell straight away, like, what's
Absolutely.
going on here. I know this model speaks English, and
And that's another thing. I've told them, put in the bio. It looks good. If you put in the OnlyFans bio, just this is not run by an agency. I run everything myself. If you put it there, then the
yeah,
people they look to me. But if you make it look like a robot is running it, they're not gonna want to go in there.
yeah. So what, they put it in your bio as well, did they? In terms of
No, they didn't.
yeah,
It looks like a robot wrote my bio. I mean, it just looks like. And then I was in the process of rebranding because a lot of models suggested when a business fails, you rebrand the business. So,
mm,
I thought, okay, what would I have that would make me stand out from other models? Is have like the blonde hair or like the big boobs, and I look very like a MILF, like a mom. That's what people tell me. So we use that to our advantage. And then like that early 2000s, spray tan look, like we go for.
yeah. So it sounds like you got your niching down. Yeah, you got your niche down. The niche is working, so we don't want to make any changes to that. Um, Yeah, cool. So I think what we would need is kind of like if you typed out a message to us in terms of like exactly what you're looking to happen when it comes to promotion. The chatting is
I can tell you now if you want to take
so
notes.
it
Just
one to
keep an eye.
two one to two reels a day, plus stories. Yeah,
Yes, and also create my own Reddit account that you guys would run,
yeah,
and Twitter and Blue Sky.
and they need to be created. Yeah,
Yes, on your side. So Blue Sky, four sites. So FetLife, Blue Sky, Twitter, and Reddit.
and you use FetLife as well. Cool.
Yes,
Um,
I haven't used it recently, but the first agency did, and that's why we hit that 10K a month.
yeah, you can attract like it is a site for fetishes, like a social media for fetishes. Pretty good.
Exactly. And
We
then
do promote on that as well.
eventually,
Blue Sky.
once we grow, running dating apps, because dating apps, we convince them to go to Instagram. From Instagram, they click the link
Hmm.
and go to OF.
Cool.
Um, but yeah, it's very simple. I just need someone to run my Instagram, to do the postings of the reels, and have that Twitter and Reddit run from your guys' end, the Fat Life, and then also OnlyFinders.
Hmm.
If you guys were to do that, that's a good site too.
We've had some varied results with OnlyFinders.
Good or bad, you said.
Not the best results compared to other
Okay.
platforms. So in
I
terms of
mean,
like,
I'm sure you know more about promo than I do, right? You've been in this industry, so you know
oh,
where
wow,
it's at.
yeah. Yeah, if you got something working, it's just best like double down on it. Something's
Okay.
working, just try and max it out. And you've got a few things which are working. So again, a small point to bring up is what the model said. She said, I'm sure you understand it well, and that's great because that means that we've done our job in the model recruitment system. The model recruitment system's job is to instill that trust and instill authority in them before they even hop on the call. So hopping onto this call, she's not asking questions to myself, and I'm not sitting there having to justify myself saying, well, I can do this, I've done this. I'm not there justify myself. I've already proven myself to be knowledgeable and to actually directly help her out with her OnlyFans account because we had a pre-made package asset which we sent over to her, which boosted her earnings when she implemented it. Now, as a result of that, she then sees me as an authority and she's been really receptive to what I'm saying in terms of, I don't personally think OnlyFans Finder is the best way to get traffic for an OnlyFans model. We've experimented with it. And she's actually going out there and asking for my advice, saying, look, I'm sure you know this better than me. Maybe that's not the best way. And I'm up and I'm open for whatever your input you think would be best for this account. So this means that she's seen us as an authority, and it's going to be great when it comes to management of the account. We need to be able to manage this model, steer her in the right direction, based on the other accounts that were managed that have been successful. And it's going to be nice and easy to work with this model and scale up her account. In terms of content, how often are you creating content? How many bits of content, or is it just?
I mean, it's literally 10 to 30 pieces a day.
Oh
I have
wow!
massive
So you
amounts.
create lots of
Yeah.
content. Cool.
Oh, 10 reels a day, easy.
Oh wow,
And then once
that is
we have a
perfect.
Reddit, I can get you more Reddit. I can get you 10 reels, 10 Reddits.
Lots of
You
content.
know,
Cool.
I can get you 5 short videos to sell on OF, and then I can do the rest of the time for customers and video chats. Like, I can dedicate 6 hours a day. I only drive Uber in the mornings by the
Cool.
time,
And
so
the rest is
I have the rest of the day. Yeah.
perfect. Cool.
I'm not working a regular job. I'm not in an office. I make my own
Awesome.
So I have the flexibility.
So another important question to ask on these calls is how much content are you prepared to make? What this does is it assesses the model's work ethic, how much content she's willing to produce. As in order to grow a model account, we need to make sure the model's producing content because in the end of the day, OnlyFans is a content marketing business. You're using content to market on the front end to acquire subscribers and using it to sell on the back end. So without the model creating content, there's only so much you can do as an agency, which is why I always ask the question. And if they come back saying, well, I don't really have too much time to dedicate towards building content, then that's a red flag in terms of a potential model that we'd be signing because it means that she's not willing to put in the effort to create the product that we need in order to scale up this account. But as she said, she's willing to create lots of quality content, which is a massive tick. And that qualification step is complete. And we know that she's hardworking and willing to create the content. So what would be the goal for this? Let's say we do work together. In 90 days, what sort of goal would you want to achieve?
I mean, I really want to achieve 20 to 30 grand a month because
20,
that's what
30.
I need to quit driving, quit driving Uber. If I can make over 10,000 a month after my 50%, then I can dedicate 12 hours a day to content 7 days a week.
Perfect. You'd be willing to scale this up higher as well then.
I mean,
Yeah.
my long-term goal, and I've learned a lot of like how to grow this industry, but I can only do it if it works, right? Like I can only do so much. Is I would eventually get an assistant of my own out here, and then what we would do is we do filming videos out in public. So she would ideally record reaction videos. So we would get reaction videos of like, because I have a BB out, right? And I'm 5'10", I stand out. So we walk in busy shopping centers and we get the reaction of men looking. Stuff like that. That's great.
I love that sort of stuff. That's the stuff that goes really viral and gets in a bunch of
Exactly, and
views.
also Omigo reactions too. I can
Yeah,
eventually
that's what we
dig
do as
into
well.
those.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Because we would post those on TikTok and YouTube once we get that running.
Perfect. Perfect.
So it just takes time, and I can spend the day, doing those and growing. I can travel to film with other models. I can collab.
Yeah.
It's not an issue. I just need to be making enough to like really grow here.
Cool. I mean, yeah, if you do everything you say, then we can absolutely hit 20 to 30K a month within 90 days. No question.
It comes down to the chatters.
Yeah.
If there's a bad chatting team,
We
we're
have
never
that.
going to make it.
No.
And you have good chatters. Also, I need someone who's easy to reach. So ideally, since you're the owner, I assume, of your agency.
Yeah.
So I would just reach you directly on WhatsApp, or what's the best way to reach you if I needed to?
Yeah, you can just message me on WhatsApp, or I can add you to a private platform, and we can just message on there. And you can speak to some team members as well. I think that'll probably be best because in case I'm unavailable, at least you got someone you can speak to.
I ideally also like to have communication with the owner just in case something ever does happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
we do keep communication. Yeah, cool.
And one big rule we have to follow is I live in a community where a lot of locals do subscribe to my page from my area.
Yeah.
And they always like to talk about meeting in person.
Yeah,
role play them whatsoever.
Yeah, we
I've
had
chatters asked do this, and that's not okay.
Yeah, we managed she was a girl who kind of worked at a bar, and lots of people who came into the bar was kind of, would say things, and apparently her last agency, the chatters kind of made some suggestive comments, then they came into the bar, and it's this whole ordeal. So yeah, we've experienced with that.
She didn't get banned, did she? Did she lose her?
No, she didn't.
Okay.
No, it was fine. But yeah, it's just, we know how to handle those sort of interactions. That's more than fine.
Yes.
Cool.
And then I would need, last thing from you is I need invoices every bi-weekly or week whenever I pay you guys for my taxes because I'll need to deduct those.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a business account, so we can just send you the invoices from there. So it's nice and simple for you. Yeah. Cool.
Because I assume whatever 50% I give you is I'm not legally responsible for paying taxes on those, right?
No, that's a business write-off, so 100% tax-free. Yeah.
I mean, listen, I made almost 100 grand in 2024 on OnlyFans, so I have the potential.
Yeah.
But I want to make 200-300 grand this year.
Good. That's what I want to be aiming for with this account, and I really think we can definitely get there. Yeah, 100%. I am gonna, after this call, I'll speak to a few members of my team, make sure everything's good, and then I'm pretty sure we're gonna be working with you if that's something you'd be interested in.
I I would be, so I can send you a copy of my driver license and email after this call, just in case we are
Perfect.
good.
And then, when you do decide on board, we send you a contract. When the contract's signed, we then send you an onboarding email, which goes through all the steps for you. All right?
So, last question. I have to make a decision before tomorrow because that's when my 30 days expires with the current agency.
Cool.
So, if I decide we are working together, do I log them out and then your chatters will start right away, or do your chatters need to study it before I log them?
Our chatters would need to study it before we just get logged. They log them out straight away. Yeah.
Is one day enough?
1 day would be enough for transitional period. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, then let me know in a few hours, please.
Yep.
And then let's see if we can make
Some
some
other stuff. Cool. Well, it's been great speaking to you, and I'll send you a message. All right.
You too. Remind me your name.
Ethan.
Nice meeting you, Ethan. Where are you located?
London.
Oh, what part?
Shoreditch.
Are you familiar with TDM? The agency?
Yeah, competitors.
I used to work with them, and then they were not prioritizing my account, so that's kind of what I'm trying to avoid in the future.
Yeah, they are our competitors, so we do know them well. But yeah.
And I like you guys if you take me on, that's for sure.
Yeah, we'll rub it in their faces, all right.
Right, when it actually starts making money. I know their chatters were horrible. I mean, God, they declined me so much when I took them on. It was the biggest mistake I ever did.
Yeah. I've heard some things from them as well. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Anyway, Ethan, get back to me. Let me know sooner than later. Let's see what we can do.
We'll do.
Get some money together.
Awesome. Take care. Nice speaking to you. Bye.
Too. Bye.
So yeah, there's the model closed. Nice and simple. Yeah, it's really easy closing these models, especially when you do have social proof and you do have the right systems in place that kind of sell them on it before. Before we sign any model, it's just standard that you collect the driving license, you get them onboarded into a Slack community, so you keep the communication centralized. Obviously, they can still have your WhatsApp number, they can still have other means of contacting you if it's an emergency, but you want to make sure you're diverting them to a particular place. So, yeah, it's kind of really important for those of you watching this that you understand that you need to deliver a good service. The number one reason why most OnlyFans agencies never get past 50k a month is because they just don't deliver a good service. If you don't deliver a good service, you're constantly going to be churning these clients. And when it does come to these big ticket accounts, you're not going to be able to go ahead and actually sign them and get started with them. You're going to sign them, you're going to be working them for a month, and then you're going to see that you've got terrible chatters. And if you guys watch my videos, you will know I've done lots of training on chatting, and you'll know that what they did was absolutely terrible in terms of converting a free page, a VIP page, which was making $4,000 a month to free. So essentially, they're making $4,000 a month passively for doing nothing, and that was growing month on month on month. She made 50k. She's only been doing this for a year, and they just turned it off. So they've just missed out on 50k, which at 50% rev share split is 25k just by turning it off. So they don't have any clue what they're doing. And the chatting is absolutely abysmal. She had 1,300 fans. She opened up an OnlyFans account. She was getting hundreds of subscribers, dozens of subscribers every single day to the paid one, or what was a paid one. She was getting hundreds to the original free one. And she just was not making anywhere near as much as she should be making, and that is just from terrible management. So if you want to learn to do it the right way, make sure you check the description below, where we have a link to booking a call with myself, where we're going to help you launch an OnlyFans management agency, sign high-ticket OnlyFans models, and get started with scaling them up the right way with the model recruitment system, onboarding system, management system, promotional systems to cover this all for you. So when you sign these high value models, they make content for you to promote. So it's really easy to promote them, and you can plug them into automated systems that you already got. So in terms of, she said that she wants to have a Reddit created and she wants to have a Twitter created. Fine, we've already got an automated system for that. So it's just a question of just saying, create this for her and run these SOPs. I'm going to be growing that. All automated. I don't need to do anything for that. 1 to 2 reels a day. Again, the Instagram is all completely automated. She does have a few pages which we'll have to look into further. She mentioned using other stuff like FetLife and Blue Sky. Personally, I don't think that is 100% the best way. You can get good results on FetLife, especially for niche models. We will test it out, and we do have a FetLife bot that we can just spin up and use. So we will just automate that and bot that. OnlyFinders, not really the best. It's kind of like a search engine, so you get lots of agencies who use it, and lots of other people who just use it who aren't really high spenders. She's creating 10 to 30 reels every single day, so it sounds like she's willing to create lots and lots of content, and she's got a goal of 20 to 30k a month within 90 days. And that is a realistic goal. Her account was doing $11,000 a month, or nearly $12,000 a month at its peak, and that was only a few months ago. And in terms of a few months ago, it can very quickly pick up again if we just make a tweak in terms of, okay, let's charge for subscriptions again. That's going to be an extra 4k a month, so we're going to get her up to 7k a month from that. Implement high quality chatters who actually do a good job. We're going to take them up further, beyond the original number. And we're just going to keep on. It's going to be easy to 20, 30k a month. She's willing to do the Omeagles, which is a unique strategy that we have documented in depth inside of my OnlyFans Millions program, which we give to our consulting students, which is working really well. So I was kind of happy she mentioned that and that she was already doing it and willing to do this stuff as well. That's half the battle. Finding a model who's actually willing to go ahead and produce this sort of content. As well as that, she said she was willing to go into the street and do reactions and stuff like that as well, which is great because that's the sort of stuff that pulls in traffic. So traffic's not going to be an easy. It's just going to be a question of having someone in the account who speaks good English, has good understanding of psychology, and can just sell, which we already have virtual assistants who I've trained up, who I know can deliver inside this model's OnlyFans account, and we'll just plug them in. So I'm just going to be plugging this model into our automated systems, automated infrastructure that's already set up, and that's going to be an extra, within 90 days, I can guarantee that's going to be an extra 15 grand a month, okay? So nice and easy, and I hope you got some value from this video. If you want more videos like this, a little bit more casual, a little bit more just getting straight to the point, showing you kind of the behind the scenes of running an OnlyFans management agency, how easy these sales calls are, when you have a good model recruitment system, the type of quality OnlyFans models you can sign, then, do reach out to me, and we can help you. All right, cool. See you guys in the next video. Take care.